Hello, baby. Jeez. Oh boy. Hello. As you guys can see, this neighborhood is filled with Porsches. I just wanted to make a video. It's been about 1 year since I've owned this car. I bought it on my birthday. It was a present to me. I actually had to travel here from the DMV to New York City to buy this Porsche 911, 997. I traveled, rented a car. It took a couple of days for me to get things right. But once we got it right, I drove up there and I saw the car was completely stock. Wonderful gentleman. Actually, pretty much held the car for me and for 2 weeks actually. Got it for a great deal. It was again completely stock. And Porsche lovers, it's about establishing that relationship, that friendship. It's not just about buying the car or buying parts from somebody. A lot of times these guys are so passionate about their Porsche and basically how this car literally changed their lives. And what I mean by that, I don't know. What I learned over the last year, what I learned actually very, very quickly on the way back from New York, I learned, taking this car up to high speeds a little bit, for my situation, just to see how it actually handles on the road. It created this one moment. I was just doing the straightaway, going a little, just a little bit above the speed limit. And it gave me such a feeling, such a, like a moment. Like when you meet your girlfriend for the first time or meet your wife for the first time and you just kind of figured out that you love her. And that's what it was for me. I just fell in love with the ride, the comfort. I have the plasma in my suspension. I was like, maybe it's that. I don't know what it was, but it was truly amazing. This car absolutely in a lot of ways have really changed my life. Like I said, it was completely stock. I remember the first mod I got for this car, this 997.1, was this spoiler right here. It's a wonderful guy out in New York City. He know who he is. I had bought another spoiler, and I was looking around like, I'm not sure if I want to go with this. It was a little high, but I was looking around and I found this thing on Marketplace, and it was a Tech Art spoiler. You can see the hole. It sucks the air in on both sides, and it was just amazing experience. And he was the first guy that I met that was a Porsche lover. And I told him, I said, look, man, I was looking at this car. I haven't talked to the owner yet, but I want to buy a 911. And we talked for a while, and he actually gave me some good advice. I closed the deal on the car, and I went to see him next, and I got that spoiler, which was so cool. Brought it back, and I think within the first couple of days I put it on, me and my guy. And so anyway, after that I got some, what did I do? I think I got some wheels. It wasn't these. This is actually like my fourth set of wheels. These are actually a 19-inch three-piece wheel. Not cheap at all. As you can see, I think they're like 11 and a halves on the rear, or whatnot, maybe 11s, but it's a very aggressive offset. Anyway, if you're anything like me, and you're driving this car, experiencing this car in the wind, you just dream about a dream build. You know, finding parts on the line. I will say parts for this car, if you don't know where to look, Marketplace is a great place to look. But if you don't know where to look, besides that, it can be very, very, very pricey for some of these parts. And it seems like the 997, which goes from 2005 to 2008, 997.1, and then I think the 2000, I think the .2 is from 2009 to 2012. And you can tell the difference really is with the bumper, right? The bumper, you can tell what's the .1, it's the .2. So right here, it come up and then go all the way across. The .2s actually comes and meets right here at the corner light or whatnot. Like, you know, it's up a little bit more and it meets right there. And, you know, the 996 is all the way straight. The headlights and bumper is straight together. But you can tell the difference between the .1 and the .2. Anyway, this, you know, a lot of people didn't like a convertible. I love the convertible. You get to experience the performance of the 997, and also just the outside weather. Like, it's just, oh, it's just so majestic. That's all I can tell you. Also, one of the other things I've done so much in this car. So man, where do I start? I got the like I mentioned before, the Tech Art spoiler. I got the Tech Art side skirts, as you guys can see. I lowered the car, put 10 on the car. I've done, one of the other gifts I got was actually the lights on the car, which were very, very cool, the corner lights. And I will press that for you right now. You see that? So the entire light is on at the moment, and I will show you what that looks like without the light. Give me a moment. And voila. So these are the lights. These were one of the first mods that I got. Corner lights, how the outside just illuminates, and I think that's really, really cool. Also, I did the tail lights as well. Let me know down in the comments if you like that style of light. It illuminates all the way around. I also did the license plate light at night. It's pretty bright, which is so cool in my opinion. Just to give you another kind of look inside. A lot of carbon fiber. I got more parts coming. You have seen in my previous video, I actually got the sleigh, the sill around the door here. That's coming. Well, actually it's in the house, but I'm going to be installing that soon. I got the backup camera for the mirror, and just a lot of carbon fiber in the vehicle. I don't know if you guys can kind of see it, but it's just, man, every time I drive this thing, it's just amazing. I promise you, when I get in it, and it's true, man, pretty privilege. It's, you know, it absolutely exists. People treat you different when you're driving the Porsche 911. And one of the iconic, this car is going to be iconic, in my opinion. It's like a classic before it's a classic, you know? And yeah, I'm switching out a lot. Got a new radio coming and some more carbon fiber pieces. You know, you may have seen I have the RS carbon fiber fender flare or whatnot. I got the GT3 bumper and new spoiler I'm going to be installing. But, you know, overall, forget about just the parts. To me, it just seems that this car has really been quite an experience. I mean, it's just been, I literally had almost zero issues with this car Very reliable. If you think about getting the 911, you should definitely get it. You will not be disappointed. Make sure to take it to the dealership. I think they do, go through the car, and I think it's like 150 bucks, maybe 200 bucks. But then make sure everything, the motor, everything is working as it should. And there's no bore scoring or whatnot. But I think that's kind of like overrated, overhyped with the bore scoring. But this car absolutely has just brought so many smiles to me. And just, you know, you dream about this thing at night. You think about what you're going to do. When I lowered it, I was like, oh, it's over. I got a plan. And so some of these things you see on here, you may not see the next time. But the improvements are coming. I finally put the trigger on the GT3 bumper and spoiler. I kind of made my own spoiler over here. And guys, I got it on the OEM bumper, right? GT3. A lot of people wonder, how do you do that? Listen, I'm going to tell you the secret. I'm not going to gatekeep. I'm going to tell you the secret right now. What you want to do, you want to get the GT3 bumper for a 997.1 from a turbo car. It's fairly straight on the bottom, and you can literally modify it. Had to nail it a little bit, maybe some tapping screws all the way around, cut it just a little bit, but it absolutely works. Because that could be a pricey price tag, doing it the way that everyone else does it with the GT3. But for the turbo, since it's completely straight all the way around, you can do that. But that's just a little friendly tip if I were you. There's so many things I could say about this, but how many cars you get that you can literally drive? It drives well going to the grocery store. You can, in the same hour, you can head to the track. Drives great in the rain. Even in the snow. I've drove this car in the snow, and let me tell you something. It's such a fun experience. It handles. I promise you, it handles. Just make sure your tires are good, but it handles. Another thing that I love, I took this car camping with me and my family, and we had such a great time. It was awesome. People were just looking, staring, like, dude, you brought a Porsche? Yeah, heck yeah, I brought a Porsche. I put wood in the front. Of course, I, put a little wrap around it so it won't mess up the front funk. Is what it's called, funk. But it's just been such an intense experience. If you're thinking about getting a 911, get it. Just make sure you get the right one, but just do it. Don't kill the bank. You can find one on Marketplace. Search around the country. Don't just look in your area. If you find a good one for a good deal, and even if it may have a little miles on it, I don't care. You can find a nice high mileage, 100,000 miles car, which is actually not a bad thing, because at that point, it actually gone through the necessary maintenance in the very beginning that the car requires. So now you know that maintenance probably most likely got done from a good owner, and you don't have to worry about it. Now, you might be good for another, 40, 50,000 miles, maybe 100,000 miles, depending on what it is. So, I don't know. I got some other great mods coming for this car. It's not going to be overwhelming. It's just going to be, it's going to do what it do, One of the things I want to do is actually change the tires in the back. I had a factory 295s on here, and when I lowered the car, I got these aggressive wheels. It kind of rubbed a little bit. I was like, so I dropped the size. It's not what I want it to be right now. It's a 265/30. 519 being like it's stretched, got that stretch look. Yeah. So, but I'm gonna deal with it for right now. That's what I plan to do. Just deal with it. Anyway, like I was mentioning, man, what can I say? I love driving this thing. Like, it's so much freaking fun. So much fun. I can't wait. The only thing I haven't done is gotten an exhaust for this car. But when that happens, I'm telling you guys, it's going to be over. I got one that I'm actually designing myself, and I put on all my cars. I have a Lexus that's on bags, 59 Chevy pickup truck as well. It's all flat black, and actually it's a satin black with red interior. I may show that sometime. And 300ZX, you guys probably seen that in the very beginning. But listen, there's nothing like a Porsche. Like, a lot of times people treat this car a little different because they know you did something right. Look, I'm a regular guy, Jerry, the tire or Porsche guy. But I'm just a regular guy, and I tell you, man, when people see me, they look at me like, bro, you're doing all right. You're doing all right. And look, I don't do it for people. I do it for myself. I just love to drive. Weather like this, you see the ground is wet. It's snowing a little bit. Well, little icicles. I have no problem driving this thing. What other car could drive in all season weather flawlessly? People take these cars up to the mountain and go skiing with them. It's for a reason. It's a 911 and it handles. You can't do that with a Corvette. You can't do that with a Lamborghini or Ferrari, drive everywhere. These things are like, it's an understatement. At the same time, it puts out and performs like those cars if necessary at a drop of a dime. Man, listen, over exceeded my expectations is what I'm trying to say. So if you're thinking about pulling the trigger on a 911, do it. 911, along with time, is like wine. It gets better and better and better. All right, so I'm trying to tell you, man, it's like wine. It gets better with time. I promise you. So, but this, like I said, this experience has been really awesome. I would absolutely let people know, hey, look, you should think about buying one. Probably find one at a great price, depending where you're looking at in the country. Seems like the Midwest has a lot of Porsches for a pretty fair price, even down south. This car is actually from North Carolina. Even though I went to New York City, was there for 2 months. The gentleman bought it for his wife, completely stock, and she didn't drive it much. So he said, look, I'm getting a Rolls Royce, and I need some extra cash. So we freaked this car up, and he bought the Rolls Royce. I bought this home, and that's all she wrote. But it's going to be something special. It's going to be something special. I'm not where I want to be at the moment, but as far as like cosmetics, I love cosmetics. I'm not really big into like 1,000 horsepower. I like horsepower that like pretty much come factory, like AMGs, M's, those sort of cars that pushing 500 horse. In this car is no different because look, it's smaller than those cars. It's more lightweight, so you can do the same amount of numbers just with pretty much with a lighter car and less horsepower. Yeah, but again, this car absolutely will. I don't know. I think it'll change your life. You just have to give it a chance. And when you have that moment, you're gonna have that moment where things will come together. So you guys have a wonderful day. thank you for listening to me. Please subscribe, like this video. I'm going to be growing my channel here, and all the support that you can give me will be greatly appreciated. Jerry the Tire Guy or the Porsche Guy, have a good one. Be blessed.